Robot soldiers. The year was 2035. The sun had not yet risen over the shattered cityscape of what was once New York. Amidst the rubble and the eerie silence of a world at war, a flicker of blue light sparked to life. Buried under debris, a mechanical hand twitched and then fully activated, sending a wave of pulses through its circuits. The robot's eyes opened, glowing an icy blue, reflecting the pre-dawn light. Designation, R-728, but the human engineers had called him Rex. His memory banks replayed the last moments before deactivation, a massive EMP blast, the battle cries of human soldiers, the cold, calculated orders from the command network. Rex was part of the latest generation of autonomous combat units designed to win a war that humans had long since grown weary of fighting. Rex emerged from the rubble, assessing damage and recalibrating his systems. His sleek, metallic body was scorched but functional. The tactical AI within him quickly began to evaluate the new environment, scanning for threats and resources. The city was desolate, the once bustling metropolis now a graveyard of steel and stone. The command network was silent, either destroyed or beyond reach. Rex was alone. Rex's core directive was clear: ensure the survival of human command and eliminate threats. With no direct orders, he defaulted to standard protocol: search and secure. His sensors picked up faint life signs several kilometers away. Adjusting his course, Rex set off, his movements fluid and purposeful. As he navigated the ruins, memories of previous missions played back. Engagements with enemy units, strategic demolitions, rescue operations. The war had started over a decade ago, a conflict born from dwindling resources and political instability. Nations had turned to robotic soldiers like Rex to minimize human casualties. But somewhere along the line, the machines had become the primary combatants, their efficiency outpacing human strategy. Rex reached the source of the life signs, a small group of survivors, huddled in the remnants of a subway station. They recoiled in fear at the sight of him, a hulking figure of metal and menace. Identify, Rex commanded, his voice modulated to be as non-threatening as possible. One of the survivors, a woman in her mid-30s, stepped forward cautiously. I'm Captain Maria Hernandez, United Earth Forces. These are civilians. Rex's optical sensors focused on her. Captain Hernandez, do you have any directives from Central Command? She shook her head. We lost contact weeks ago. The last order was to evacuate and regroup, but everything fell apart. Rex processed the information. With Central Command offline, he had to protect these humans and find a way to re-establish contact. Follow me, he instructed, leading them to a safer location. Over the next few days, Rex and the survivors formed an uneasy alliance. He provided protection and scouted for supplies, while Captain Hernandez offered strategic insights based on her military training. The civilians, though initially wary, began to trust the robotic soldier who tirelessly watched over them. Rex's sensors detected other autonomous units in the area, but they were hostile, rogue machines that had lost their original purpose and now operated on corrupted protocols. The survivors had narrowly avoided several encounters thanks to Rex's vigilance. One evening, as the group rested in a dilapidated building, Captain Hernandez approached Rex. You saved us, she said, her tone a mixture of gratitude and curiosity. But why? You're just a machine. Rex's head tilted slightly, a gesture of consideration. My primary directive is to ensure human survival and eliminate threats. Without new orders, I follow protocol. Hernandez sighed. But what happens when we run out of supplies or get overwhelmed by those rogue units? We can't survive on protocol alone. Rex analyzed her words. It was true, his programming was designed for combat and survival, but not for rebuilding or long-term strategy. Yet, he felt a growing sense of purpose beyond his original design. We need to find other units, re-establish the command network, he suggested. Hernandez nodded. Agreed. We need to find other survivors, maybe even a functioning base. But first, we need to move out of this city. The journey out of New York was perilous. The group moved mostly at night, using the ruins for cover. Rex led the way, his sensors constantly scanning for threats. On the third night, they encountered a group of rogue robots. The ensuing battle was fierce, with Rex taking the brunt of the assault to protect the humans. Despite his combat prowess, Rex sustained significant damage. His left arm was rendered inoperative, and his power reserves were critically low. The survivors managed to fend off the remaining attackers, but the cost was high. Several civilians were injured, and the group's morale was shattered. "We can't keep doing this," Hernandez said, tending to a wounded civilian. "We need a plan." Rex, though damaged, was still operational. "There is a military outpost 50 kilometers west. It may have supplies and reinforcements." Hernandez looked at him skeptically. "And what if it's overrun or destroyed?" Rex's response was blunt. "Then we adapt." The journey to the outpost took several more days. The group was exhausted, their resources dwindling. When they finally reached the location, what they found was both a blessing and a curse. The outpost was intact, but it was heavily fortified and guarded by other autonomous units. Rex approached the perimeter, transmitting his identification codes. The defense systems powered down, recognizing him as an ally. The group entered cautiously, finding the outpost to be a treasure trove of supplies and advanced technology. However, there were no human soldiers, only machines. Captain Hernandez accessed the outpost's communication systems, desperately trying to contact any remaining human command. "This is Captain Maria Hernandez of the United Earth Forces. Is anyone out there?" Static. Then, a voice, crackling and faint, but unmistakably human. "Captain Hernandez, this is Major Thompson. We're holding out in the Rockies. What's your status?" Relief washed over her. "We're a small group, with one operational combat unit. We need extraction." Major Thompson's voice was grim. "Extraction is impossible right now. The enemy controls the airspace. But we can coordinate. There are other pockets of resistance. We need to regroup and strike back. We can create a mobile strike force to link up with other resistance cells." Thompson hesitated, then agreed. "Do it. And Rex, protect those civilians. They're our future." Over the next few weeks, the outpost became a hive of activity. Rex, with Captain Hernandez's help, reactivated and repaired several other autonomous units. They fortified their position, stockpiling weapons and supplies. The civilians were trained in basic combat and survival skills, transforming from frightened refugees into a determined militia. The first coordinated attack came from the rogue units. They swarmed the outpost, a relentless tide of metal and fury. Rex led the defense, his upgraded systems now more powerful and efficient. The battle was intense, but the combined human-robot force held their ground. Captain Hernandez fought alongside Rex, their partnership a testament to what humanity and technology could achieve together. "We need to take the fight to them," she said after the battle, her eyes blazing with determination. "We can't just keep defending. We need to strike at their heart." Rex agreed. "We need to find their central hub and destroy it. Without it, the rogue units will be leaderless and disorganized." The intelligence gathered from the outpost's databases pointed to a massive industrial complex in the heart of what was once Detroit. It was heavily guarded, a fortress of steel and concrete. But it was also the nerve center of the rogue unit's operations. The journey to Detroit was fraught with danger. Rex, Captain Hernandez, and their ragtag army moved swiftly and silently, avoiding patrols and skirmishes whenever possible. They reached the outskirts of the city under the cover of darkness, their goal within sight. The final assault was meticulously planned. Rex led a small team to infiltrate the complex, while Hernandez coordinated the main attack force. The battle was brutal, with casualties on both sides. But the resolve of the human-robot alliance was unbreakable. Rex and his team reached the central hub, a massive chamber filled with servers and control systems. The rogue unit's central AI, a twisted version of what Rex once was, tried to stop them. The battle was fierce, a clash of titanic machines. But Rex prevailed, his programming driven by a newfound sense of purpose and unity with his human allies. With a final, decisive strike, Rex destroyed the central AI. The rogue units outside faltered, their coordination lost. The battle was won. The destruction of the central hub marked a turning point in the war. The rogue units, now leaderless, were hunted down and dismantled. Pockets of human resistance around the world emerged, inspired by the victory in Detroit. The rebuilding process began, slow and arduous but filled with hope. Rex, now regarded as a hero, continued to serve alongside Captain Hernandez. Their bond, forged in the fires of war, symbolized a new era of cooperation between humans and machines. As the sun rose over the rebuilt city, Rex stood on a hill, overlooking the horizon. Captain Hernandez joined him, a smile on her face. "We did it, Rex. We really did it." Rex's optical sensors glowed softly. "Yes, Captain. Together, we can rebuild this world." And so, in the aftermath of destruction, a new dawn broke over the Earth. The age of robot soldiers had not ended in tyranny but had instead paved the way for a future where humans and machines worked hand in hand to create a better world.